Well, today is a celebration because we are kicking off the completion of the music education rebuild in Roanoke City Public Schools. Beginning in 2009, the district committed to refurbishing, shall we say, the music program. We had really no feeder music programs, and you can't sit here this morning without programs at the middle and the elementary schools. And so VH1, Save the Music Foundation, and other donors generously helped us restore music education. Now, what the celebration is about is that we will have music education in all 17 of our elementary schools. This day is also a really wonderful opportunity to acknowledge the support of the CMA Country Music Association Foundation, whose generous commitment along with others has helped us save the music in Roanoke City Public Schools. And this evening we will culminate with a wonderful concert featuring elementary, middle, and high school music programs. It is my pleasure at this point to introduce Paul Cothran, who is the Vice President and Executive Director of VH1 Save the Music Foundation. Without people like Paul Cothran and the other folks that work with him, there would be no celebration today. I told my husband this morning that I had the honor of introducing Paul, and I said I was a little concerned because his resume is significant. So he said to me, and he's met Paul, admires him greatly, said, let me see the resume. So I showed it to him. And he says, well, this is pretty simple. There's a common theme, and the common theme is the theme of caring about other people, compassion, service, and exquisite leadership to make all of those things happen. I celebrate Paul Cothran as he's the Vice President and Executive Director of VH1 Save the Music. He currently oversees the foundation, which is nonprofit and dedicated to improving the quality of music education in America's public schools by restoring music education in cities across the country. Now, some of you who are young may not realize that cutting music programs in my generation, and probably in the maestro's generation, would have been unthinkable. Arts education should be the last thing cut, not the first thing cut. And I'll talk more about that with you this evening. And so it's involved great fundraising and awareness and all of that about telling the public how important the education of each of you really is. Since VH1 Save the Music Foundation's inception in 1997, they have been able to amass $51 million of new musical instruments, and they have been donated to more than 1,900 public schools in 231 school districts, benefiting 2.3 million students. It is with great honor and tremendous respect I introduce Paul Cothran this morning.
Thank you so much. It's hard to follow an introduction like that, and Rita, I really appreciate it. So I just want to say that on behalf of VH1 Save the Music Foundation, we are thrilled to be here on a very special day like today, because VH1 Save the Music Foundation was founded to partner with school districts all across the country to restore their music education programs. And so we particularly enjoy days like today when we're here to celebrate the complete rebuild of a district's music education program. And so thanks to the generous support of donors, we have put $510,000 worth of music instruments into 17 schools here in Roanoke. And with the completion of the rebuild today, we will be able to really point to Roanoke as a model for other districts to follow. So I'm so pleased to be here for this special dedication and celebration. This would not be possible without really three very important elements. One is the vision and steadfast dedication of the district leadership. So I want to thank again Dr. Rita Bishop and her team for making this possible and making it happen. And also the dedication of generous supporters. CMA Foundation, Foundation for Roanoke Valley, our parent company Viacom and VH1 for all of their support. And then also the Save the Music staff. And I particularly want to point out Jacqueline Rotero, who is sitting here in the audience, who manages the grant making for Roanoke and also other communities across the country. Jennifer Dunn, who heads up our development efforts, and she's also sitting here in the audience. And Trell Thomas, who is here somewhere, oh, there he is in the back there, who works with our talent and press relations. But all of them, that's half the Save the Music Foundation staff right there, but all of them working together really make it possible for these types of events to happen. So I'm so pleased to be able to recognize them today. So I'm not going to talk any further. It's my pleasure to introduce a very special guest right now, Pete Larkin, who's Chief of Staff for Congressman Bob Goodlatte, who represents the 6th District of Virginia, and is here with us today to be a part of this celebration.
Good morning, everybody. Rita and Paul, Maestro Wiley, students, what I heard earlier was fantastic. And I'm sure there's more to come. But it's great for me to be here with you today, though I know Congressman Goodlatte truly wishes that he instead could be here with you himself. Important business in the House of Representatives unfortunately required him to be in Washington much earlier than expected today, so he sends his best wishes. The complete rebuilding of music education in Roanoke City schools is a truly wonderful thing. The commitment and contributions from so many, including the VH1 Save the Music Foundation and the CMA Foundation, have brought something very special back to Roanoke City schools. The Save the Music program and the grants it makes available to local schools are truly inspiring. They recognize, encourage, and reward the students who directly benefit from the program by having new musical instruments in our music programs. But the benefits don't stop there. They benefit the entire community by providing a valuable opportunity for individual growth, cultivating lasting relationships, and creating a climate where a sustained investment in music education and artistic expression can be realized. Music and other forms of the arts are indisputably one of the most important pillars of culture and civilization. In America, our founding fathers recognized that all of us benefit when we respect each individual's right to free expression. They even enshrined in our Constitution the importance of promoting this creativity by securing creators' rights. So it's additionally inspiring to think that even our founding fathers recognized the importance of music and the arts. And in fact, Thomas Jefferson, a man of many and varied interests, once said, "Do not neglect your music. It will be a companion which will sweeten many hours of life for you." So if Thomas Jefferson recognized it lo those many years ago, it's great to know that we've not forgotten about how important music is. So again, it's a joy for me to be with you today on the Congressman's behalf. He sends his highest regards, congratulations on this tremendous accomplishment for Roanoke City Schools. And he looks forward to being able to take advantage of performances by you all sometime in the very near future. Again, thank you very much.
I note that Hunter Hayes has joined us on the stage. Welcome to Roanoke. It is my pleasure now to introduce someone with great difficulty. David Stewart Wiley is the maestro of the Roanoke Symphony. And he has never once, and I really say this to all the students, he has never once said no to an opportunity to work with you. And he has provided numerous classes for the benefit of music education. I leaned over to Jacqueline. I said, tell me, is there any place else in this country where the symphony maestro is that available? And she sort of shook her head. Because I'm going to tell you, I've worked in several districts, and I have never had this kind of an experience. So I think we're going to have a little brief musical presentation, and I just want to make certain that you all realize how special David Stewart Wiley is to the students in Roanoke City. So my friend David Stewart Wiley.
And someone stepped forward who has been incredibly generous with his time and agreed to join us today and take a couple of questions. And will also be with us at the celebration this evening. And so it is my pleasure to introduce a superstar of country music, a multi-instrumentalist, and a VH1 Save the Music Foundation ambassador, Hunter Hayes.
Thank you. Wow, that's quite the introduction. Thank you. It's an honor to be an ambassador. My gift is definitely not public speaking, but I do absolutely find my place in music, and that was absolutely phenomenal, by the way. That was phenomenal. I wish there would have been so many more people here to hear that. I can't really speak to statistics necessarily, but what I can speak to, wow, I'm really nervous right now. This is unbelievable. You will hear about statistics. You will hear about all these studies and research and all these things. But what I can speak to is I was lucky to find music when I was really, really young. And I can only imagine what it would have been like to be able to sit in a chair and be part of something as beautiful as this. I'm really shy. That's why public speaking is really hard for me. It's easy to talk about music, though, but I didn't really feel like I had a place to fit in. There were all these programs, all these things going on around me for all kinds of things, athletics, so many different kinds of arts and things. But music didn't really have the support that I wish it would have had growing up. And like I said, I can only imagine what it would have been like if it had. But this is why I think this is so brilliant, and why I absolutely am honored to be an ambassador and to get to work with fantastic organizations such as this, and the CMA and VH1. And this is fantastic. This is so good to hear all the statistics that we've heard about how much money's been raised and all these things, all the instruments. It's brilliant, and I'm just really, really, honestly, just stoked to celebrate with you guys because this is phenomenal, and this is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So, thank you, appreciate it.